happy to have you here today. We're about to start the show, hooray. Welcome to Amy's on Cabaret.
Yay! Welcome everyone. Woo! Thank you all. Today I have my lovely co-host Barb. Barb makes things here. Yay, Barb! Barb, there's something on your finger. Oh, there you go. Barb's working on something right now. It'll come out soon.
Yes.
I also have my unofficial guest from last time, Archer. And then we also have with us, all the way from the East Coast, Joshua.
Hey!
Woo!
Balancing my hat.
Yeah. Joshua for the show.
It's getting windy.
There we see how long it lasts.
Yeah. See how long you can balance the hat. We are also going to be talking about dance and exercise. So this is perfect. Balance the hat instead of books.
Mm-hmm.
You're walking
yes, exactly.
Keep your shoulders. Is that what it is, Josh? Keep your
shoulders back, chest forward, chin up, and hold. And you move around to the left, to the right. I might look like I've had a neck injury, but it's okay. It's a bit stiff, but this is what it is.
I think we're good. Are we good? Yeah. Now we can do a shoulder stretch. Woo. Stretch. And in honor of Josh being a dancer and being on the show, I thought sparkle is it, right? Sparkle is your dancing. So I'm wearing my sparkly butterfly shirt.
Oh,
sparkle,
nice.
Sparkle.
Oh,
and then I
was
channeling my inner 1980s Madonna. So I have on a rosary that's sparkly.
Yes, sparkly rosary.
Sparkly Jesus.
It's funny you wore a butterfly shirt, considering that was your nickname for me forever. It still is.
And also to keep with the theme all the way, I'm wearing my butterfly handmade skirt.
Oh, that's really cute.
Thank you. Got to keep with the butterflies.
Yes.
And talking about things that fly, this is the quilt I was working on from last week, my art quilt. I decided to keep the bird because everyone voted bird. Keep the bird. It's not done yet, but I'm thinking of turning it into a pillow.
Really? That would be cool.
It's about 7 inches, so there'll be a tiny, maybe a head pillow.
Little head pillow.
Yeah. Pillow. Barb, how's your collage coming in?
Ooh, it's I finished it. Well, I mean, I might add like a person in the middle or something, but I did glue it.
That's really cute.
Yeah,
like very pretty.
It's I've got so much like wild, like crazy paper, and like especially like what do you call it? It's like scrapbooking paper. That this had like all these really cool patterns on it, and the theme was like Midnight Garden. So I'm like, okay. There were these circle patterns. I'm like, I'll cut them out. Which one should I use? The big one, the medium, or the small? And they're like, everybody's
all of them.
Use them all. Like Pokemon.
Yeah.
I added a little bit of like a silver pen.
I see the swirls. I thought that was glue.
Swirls. It is not glue. It is it's silver marker.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Well, I have with me some handmade paper from Japan with butterflies in it. I may be taking this theme too far. But I was gonna the unofficial behind the scenes theme, my personal theme for the show is butterfly, but the actual theme for the show is dance. So I was gonna use the butterfly paper and make a marionette with it, using this as legs and stuff, but instead, as Josh and others know, I do a lot of sewing, and I currently have a lot of empty spools. So my marionette is made with empty thread spools.
Oh.
And then, of course, glitter, because you're dancing. And then this weird bead that I found that already has a face on it.
Oh my gosh.
So
cool.
I don't know how well I'm going to be able to dance to Josh's directions later. But I can wave high.
You can wave high.
I could.
Can you clap your hands?
Oh my gosh, Josh! I didn't. Almost.
There we go. Yay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then, I'd
The
walk
quiet,
around.
polite theater clap. Okay, you can enter on and off stage. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Oh, and then I can sit down.
Yes. That's it. You're
And then
hired.
relax.
Yes. You can relax. You can do all the important things. You're
Yeah.
hired.
We got the glitter on for dancing.
I was gonna say you match. You match your
Marionette. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. Look at this. I have to work on him though. His head keeps turning around. Or her. I don't know.
Or
It's a gender neutral
Yeah.
doll
Exactly.
here. Mm-hmm.
could be one of them.
It's
So
just a very observant marionette. Always looking around to see what's happening.
you're right, Josh. That's a very good point.
Oh,
And then and Josh, you know a lot about people. I would think about people watch. Oh, did your hat fall off? Oh,
Yeah.
quick,
That's
quick,
okay.
everyone, take a moment, rebalance.
rebalance.
Ooh.
Work it
But I
out.
was gonna let the audience know that Josh, you have how many years experience of dancing on cruise ships?
Oh God, I've been on cruise ships for 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, I started my first contract with Holland America back in 2014.
Oh my gosh. And where have you gone in the world? Where have you not
Oh.
gone? Is it easier to say where have you not been?
No. It's probably easier to say where I've been. It's just been a lot of places because my first contract, it was like transatlantic as well as intercontinental. So like we started over in Europe and then like we crossed the Atlantic and we spent 3 months in Canada and New England, and then we went down to the Caribbean and spent like the last 6 weeks of my contract in the Caribbean. So we went to Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Germany, Europe. We did Canada, New York, Maine. We did St. Martin, St. Kitts, St. Andrews, St. Thomas, Puerto Rico, Miami, Florida. We went somewhere else. I can't remember. It's another Saint Island.
Just a few places.
Yeah. But I've also, my
Yeah.
favorite place that I've been is Cuba. I've also been to Cuba. I got to live in Italy for 2 months for rehearsals. I got to live in England for, I want to say, a month and a half for rehearsals.
So Barb and I want to know, Josh.
Yes.
Do they need us to make marionettes on the cruise ships so we could travel?
I would say maybe. They're always
Maybe.
looking for entertainment. They're always looking for some form of entertainment. I am
I have to
determined to
get
get this
better
out.
at this.
I think we can hold off on cruise ships for right now.
Well, I meant in the
But,
future.
yeah.
But that's a good point, Barb, because that does lead to me a question I was thinking about for Josh, which is, weren't you in the middle of a contract when the pandemic happened?
Yes, I was. Actually, it was my first contract as dance captain.
Oh,
So
man.
it was it was quite a contract. It was I guess the best way to describe it is a character building experience.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
very interesting.
It's a very positive way of putting it.
Yeah.
Nice positive
I
spin.
mean, to be fair, there were more good times than bad. I overall loved the cast that I was with. I didn't have any like real major issues with anybody. We actually still keep in touch. Like I realized our group chat had gone quiet for a bit, so I would like randomly send like a group message to everybody. Some people I am able to contact a little bit more than others, but you know, all in all, it's good. It's a good group of people, very talented.
Cool. Yeah, and I've seen lots of pictures from the cruise ships with all of you on it.
Yeah.
I want to be on the cruise ship with you, just dancing on the stage. I don't know if they allow that, but I have to rehearse more.
Actually, I've done throughout my time, I've done several contracts where like we do shows that are geared towards guests. I remember when I was in Holland America, we did Dancing with the Stars at Sea. I don't know if they still have it, but we would teach dance classes, and then each dance class had 2 teachers, one male, one female, and then a male and a female assistant to kind of help guests that were out on the dance floor in the class while the teachers taught. And we would pick one male and one female guest to dance that particular style with the dance instructors at the end of the cruise.
And what were any of these audience members not very good at dancing? And does that matter?
It didn't matter, but we definitely had some interesting times.
That's very polite of you, Josh.
Yeah. Yes.
But were you on the cruise ship when that happened? Did it looked like that
I was
everyone
actually,
was off, but just the crew was left on?
well, what happened was my ship, I guess, was lucky because when everything first happened, the ship that I was on was able to kind of continue. At least they thought they would be able to, because we didn't have any cases and everything was okay. And then the day they officially shut everything down, which would, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was March 15th. And I remember that being the last day we had guests on the ship. And so all the guests went home and then the cruise stayed on. And so at first we were like, oh, it'll only be a month. So everybody stayed. And then we were like, okay, maybe it'll be 2 months. So some people went home, some people stayed. Luckily, we didn't have any cases on my ship. So we were able to like dock and just be in port. They had to work some things out in order to like drain like used water and things like that legally and make sure like it went. I think they created a pipeline for it to go into the sewer system in the area we were ported at. So it didn't actually go out into the water. Which was really nice and very creative for the situation.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, Josh, we got a couple comments here. One from Richard. He loves all our hats. Yeah, I'm not even wearing an official hat, but Richard did. He bought me this hat.
There we go. I saved it.
You have headwear.
I have headwear on, and then also on. Ooh.
I caught it. There we go.
We're gonna be doing some moves hopefully later, so
yes,
the hat's gonna fall, but and that's okay. And Josh, Barb's mom says hi.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Barb's mom is one of our #1 fans.
It is true.
That's
Our
awesome.
#1 commenter. So thank you. Hello, Barb's mom. And
I have to point out because she is a big fan of introducing herself. She always says, as she said in the chat here, "Hi, my name is Barbie's mom."
Aww.
Which is exactly how she's been introducing herself since I was little and known by all and sundry as Barbie. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's Barb, aka Barbie, aka whatever else other nicknames you have. Barb makes things.
I have other nicknames. We won't be getting into those right now.
Barb, are you making a marionette?
I'm making a puppet. It's not so much a marionette. Yeah, can you hear all of the noise of my tape?
I hear some noise, and I'm wondering, Josh, we were thinking about some dance tips or stuff.
Yes.
Is a puppet easier to do? Should I make Archer do these dance moves? Although he has no moving limbs.
I was going to say, I think it depends on the structure. Kind of like dances, depending on each person's foundation, like their physical makeup, what they can do and what they can't do. It depends on what you want to do. I think a puppet has a little bit more mobility because you can control it with your hand, as opposed to relying on the strings of a marionette to kind of go the way you're swinging them.
Unless you're experienced, like a professional marionette.
Yeah, if you're a professional marionette person and you're very experienced, then yeah.
Yeah, because my marionette, I only have 2 pencils crossed, but I was going to put another pencil up here to control the legs.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I might do that. Not today. Maybe today. Oh, Barb's holding up her puppet.
So here's what I'm right now. I kind of want to still do feet on it, but yeah, it's called Milton. He's called Milton because he's made from a box of Milton's crackers, which is, I guess, some fancy crackers that apparently I had. So, ow, the head is like,
oh, the head is a Milton.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
And then the arms can move out.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
So this is the yeah. I'd like to get the
that's the dance we're going to be unofficially doing later.
Yeah.
I guess I can
Or
almost
probably
clap
some
my
kind of
hands.
workout.
Almost clap his hands.
I'm also
Um,
shaking my hips. I'm getting really into it. Is
I
Milton shaking
know.
his hip?
Maybe we can make him do some voguing.
Perfect. It'll go with my unofficial Madonna theme too.
Yes.
Vogue, everyone.
yeah, we can do
Love a
that.
bit of
Maybe
Vogue.
do that. Yeah.
I'm getting really into it.
Yes. Strike a
I don't remember
pose.
the exact,
Or if
but
he wants to put googly eyes.
you should googly eye him.
Yeah.
I vote for
Should I
googly
googly eye
eye.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Googly
Josh votes for googly eyes too. Yeah. Aw.
Yes.
I have no shortage of googly eyes.
Just a few googly eyes. Oh, I also have with me, in case we get really into our dancing, some empty oatmeal containers.
Yes.
Nice.
I have no rhythm, but you know, whatever.
That's all right.
I'll come up with something.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say the thing about rhythm is like you can always create it as you go.
Yay, Josh. Not only are you a fantastic dancer and a beautiful soul and beautiful person,
Oh.
you're so polite and encouraging. I was
Thank
like,
you.
Josh needs to be on the show. He's going to tell us how to dance. We're going to mess up and he's going to be like, you're doing a great job.
I know. That's usually how I respond.
Yeah, because Josh and I have known each other. How long have we known each other, Josh? I was trying
Oh
to figure out.
wow. Over 10 years.
It's been longer than that. I think we
Yeah,
met
it's been
in
longer than 10 years.
2006.
I was gonna say, where'd
14
you
years.
We met, that's a good question, Barb. We met in a little town. I don't know if it's called a little town, I'm just saying that. Called Bloomfield, New Jersey, at, hold on to this, a college called Bloomfield College that no one ever heard of in the state of New Jersey, unless you're
No.
going there. No,
I did
never
not hear of it until I got an acceptance letter from there.
Yeah, because they were actively recruiting within the neighborhood, the area
Yeah.
right outside, which is next to Newark. If anyone has, has
Yeah.
a map to look at it. And it was what was your major there?
At the time I was a creative arts major with a focus and concentration in theater because I had just graduated from Arts High School in Newark. And I was the theater major there. So I was continuing along the acting track.
Nice, I could tell.
Actually, it was my experience at Bloomfield College that got me to change and major in dance.
I had some experiences there too. It's a good school. Go there. That's fine.
It is. It's a
it was
good
interesting
school.
because Josh and I were umbrellaed, like you said, under creative arts and technology. But my major was fine arts, and I was the only fine arts major. There was no fine arts teacher, so
Yeah.
it's a very interesting place
Yeah.
to be.
I don't know if they still have a theater program.
They
I
got rid of
know-
my major after I was done.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think around the time that I left, they may have gotten rid of my major.
Yeah,
It was weird because I was a theater major, but I did more like creative and visual art stuff. Like I remember working with like Photoshop and learning how to edit and do all this other like cool and interesting stuff. But I was just like, I don't think I took an acting class while I was there, which was interesting.
That's great.
I remember taking a movement theater class, which kind of segued me into like majoring in dance.
And they had circus arts class. I didn't take it, but I knew people that did. Did you take
I
that?
did. I took the circus arts class. That's where I learned to juggle. I don't have anything to juggle here.
Oh, that would be amazing. I learned, I utilized someone else's circus art class skills while in Paris on a student trip. I say this because he and I wandered off on our own to try to get him to the hospital because he was feeling terrible.
Oh, no.
And so the group didn't come with us. And so we wandered and we found the hospital, no problem. They don't want to see you right away if you are not a citizen or don't have the paperwork or something. But they'll see you, but you have to wait a while.
Wait a while, yeah.
Unless you're bleeding or something, you know, which is fine. And then on the way when we left, we left before he saw a doctor. And we were on the way back and somehow we got behind these metal fences on either side of us and buildings. And we got kind of trapped in this spot where we could see the road, but we couldn't get to it. I don't know what we did. So instead, we pulled ourselves up this over a little bit over 5 feet tall brick wall onto this flower bed thing. And then there was another fence, another metal fence up there. And my friend just looked at me, the friend that was sick, and felt like he was dying. And he pulled himself and flipped himself over that. So a circus artist move. Then he looked up, and we did this all in 3 seconds, everyone, Barb and Josh. We didn't think about it. If we thought about this next thing, we would not have done it. But
it was like, just go.
He flipped himself over, and in nanoseconds, he just turned around, put his arms up, and I put my arms up, and he flipped me backwards over the rail and caught me. And we were still over 5 feet up in the air.
Oh, wow.
And he caught me, and then we just jumped down. And he said to me later, he's like, man, I didn't know for sure if I was going to get you.
You know what? To be honest, you never really say it when you're performing on stage, but each time it happens, you're always like highly intensely focused. Because I've had moments where I've been like, okay, so this worked out. I'm glad it worked out.
Did you drop someone? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, actually, thankfully, I've never dropped anybody. But there was one show where I had to catch this girl off of a ladder.
Oh,
and I caught her, and then I run with her off stage. And the costume was like firefighter equipment. So it was like I have on the hat, and then I have on the coveralls and the jacket and stuff. And I'm wearing jazz sneakers. And so I'm running with her, and as I'm running, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was sweat or what. I slipped, and my weight was going forward, and like nobody else could tell, but I like fell going off stage with her. So it was like we fell into the wing, and I had this moment on the way down where I was like, if I land on her, I'm gonna hurt her. So I did like a light, gentle like toss, and she kind of like skid across the floor, and then I fell into the wing, and like we both like got up and like got together and then ran back out to finish the dance.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, and then afterwards, everybody was like, it was probably a good thing that, I don't want to say I threw her. I just kind of like,
It's a light
like
toss.
I gently I guided her to the floor.
Yeah.
Because she was in both hands. So as I was falling, I was like, okay, and now. And I kind of like threw my arms forward a little bit, just enough for her to like kind of slide across the flour. Because all I kept thinking was, if I land on her, this is not going to be good for anybody involved. I was like, I would rather kind of like slide her across the floor and let what will be, because she was like in a cradle position. So I knew like the chances of her getting injured would be very small because she would be on her side, as long as I didn't like just kaplunk her down. Actual dance term, kaplunk. No,
we learned something.
I knew like if I kind of like gently tossed her on her butt, like she might get hurt, but I knew it was a higher risk of her being uninjured than if I landed on her.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like
And those are kind of like the things that happens when you're dancing. You're always kind of like adjusting and engaging in the moment. Because I was gonna say, although like I haven't ever dropped anybody, there's always that show where like your hand slipped. And then I remember one show where after the show I went to my partner, I was like, was everything okay? She was like, yeah, the ship was rocking. And I went up and I was like, oh, this is it, like he's not gonna catch me. And she was like, somehow you catch me. And I landed on my feet, and I was like, okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got to stay in character. That reminds me, like, you really have to think about who you are, because I haven't taken dance in a long time, but when I was little, I took ballet. And of course, we were in the Nutcracker. And I was the rag doll. And I fell to the floor.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly like Barb's doing. Fall to the floor, and your legs are crossed, and you're laying, and your head's down. And the male came by and picked me up and was taking me off. But the first time he did that during dress rehearsal, I stayed with my legs crossed as if I was sitting down, and they just lifted me up. I forgot to think about being a rag doll. Granted, I was like 6, so the teacher wasn't
Oh,
mad at me. They were just like, "You're a rag doll."
yeah. Like let everything go limp.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's always that. It's always that constant like adjustment happening, especially when you're dancing on cruise ships because it's well, I'll hold my hat.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
Hold it for presentational
Oh, a
purposes.
great brooch.
There you go.
That was a very
Yeah.
nice brooch.
No, no, but it's funny because like the ship is constantly moving, like sometimes a little bit less than others. So
Yeah.
it's like as you're dancing, you're constantly like adjusting and shifting your weight. I think it's it's better if it's like slow, steady rocks, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it when the movement is kind of drastic but consistent because then you can like adjust accordingly. Like you can catch the tempo of it. It's when it's like really small and it's like just enough to like throw you off your leg in a turn, or
Mm-hmm.
like just enough for you to land wrong out of a jump. That's when you're like really a bit concerned. You're like, okay, like it's not that much, but like there's been times where like I would do a jump and like the flow would meet me in the air. I'm like, oh, okay, well, on to the next step.
Oh my
It'd be
gosh.
easy to hurt yourself then.
You
Yeah,
would,
I mean, the the thing about dancing on a cruise ship is I feel like I'm grateful for dancing on a cruise ship because I feel like it teaches you to be very adaptable because you never really know. Like one, cruise shows have multiple styles of dance. So I've danced shows where there were people who were ballet dancers and we had a salsa number. I had shows where we had salsa dancers and we were doing jazz dance. And so it's like I would suggest to any younger dancer, I
mhm.
mean, when things are up and running and it's possible, if you
Yeah.
really want to work like in like musical theater, because I got into cruise ships to help me better hone in my craft of musical theater because I was more trained in modern and ballet. So I had taken jazz class, but I hadn't really like trained in jazz that much. And so I am grateful for cruise ships, having worked on cruise ships, because it literally, whatever style of dance is needed for the show, that was the style you did. So oftentimes when people
Cool.
go like, "Oh, what type of dance you're doing?" I'm like, "Whatever gets me paid."
That's why I was like, what does Joshua do? He's improv? I don't know. I was like,
Like
that's kind of
choreographed
close.
improv.
I remember in Bloomfield, you were, what was it? It was kind of modern dance that you were doing a lot
Yeah,
of.
I was doing modern dance, modern and ballet back then too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And where else, where did you else, you transferred out to Rutgers, I think, for a little bit?
Well, I left Bloomfield and then I did a semester at Essex County, and then I ended up getting my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Dance from Rutgers. Well, Mason Gross School of the Arts, but it's under Rutgers University.
And how important do you think a dance education really was for you? Like, could you get on a cruise ship if you're just a really good dancer?
Yeah, you can, but here's the thing. You don't need a degree to be a dancer, but I feel like having a degree for me at least helped, because one thing was I didn't start dancing until I was 23, right?
Mhm.
I didn't start seriously training until I was 23 when I started Rutgers. Like I took my first actual dance class I took when I was 19, 20. And then I took one class and then I didn't take a class until a year later. And then I took 2 or 3 classes and then I didn't take another class until a year after that. And then I started doing it more consistently and I was like, hey, I want to get training. And dance training is pretty expensive. I lucked out because 1, I was a male, 2, I was a black male, and then 3, I was an older black male. So a lot of times I was able to get scholarships. But the thing was, I had to do beginner and advanced classes at the same time to kind of like catch up.
Yeah.
So it was quite the challenge, but I really loved it. I was gonna say, for me, I chose to get a degree in dance because I felt like college was, in a sense, free training, not necessarily free, but
And
I could get more funding to go to college and actually study and do more academically as well. And then also I feel like having a degree informs also how I teach dance. because a lot of the curriculum at Bloomfield, not at Bloomfield, Jesus, at Rutgers, sorry. I'm looking at Amy thinking Bloomfield.
I'm sorry, I'll hide.
No, but a lot of the training at Rutgers was really, really good. Like, I am very grateful for the training that I got there, and a lot of the dancers that I met there. Also, like Kayla Collymore has done a lot of dancing. There's also Nick Sission, my best friend, Sonia Chung. Um, Also Kyle Jackson, a lot of dancers that I know that have gone on to work with really prestigious dance companies. Actually, one of my classmates, Shay Bland, went to dance with Ailey too, and things like that. And I think because the curriculum also emphasized the academic portion of dance and also teaching dance as well, like a lot of dancers I've worked with have actually fast tracked into the dance education master's program. So some of the people I went to school with graduated with a BFA in dance and a master's in dance education. Yeah,
Nice.
so Steven Concepcion was his name at the time. He's married now, so I don't know his last name now. Sorry, Steven, if you're watching. Yeah, but one of the classes I was most grateful for was kinesiology for dancers, because we learned about muscles, muscle insertions and points of origin, also the direction of muscle fibers. We also had nutrition class. We had dance assembly, which we would talk about injury prevention and rehabilitation. Alumni that had graduated would come and talk with current students about like what it's like to work in the industry and different things like that. Also, we would combine with the Bachelor of Arts dance majors who had more academic classes than the Bachelor of Fine Arts dance majors. And we would do projects with them. Some of us worked in the musical department with the actors and musical theater people as well and did musicals. So it was really good. I think it was important to get a well-rounded education, and that's the thing. Like, I met so many dancers on, especially on cruise ships, that were fabulous, but like, especially one of my contracts, I remember when I was dancing for MSC, I was kind of like the injury guy. Every time somebody got injured or rolled something, they would be like, Josh, like, what is this? Or like, what's that? And I would be explaining to people like, oh, okay, this hurts because this is tight here. And what's happening is the muscle is pulling and it's restricting movement here and there. And I actually worked on people doing massage therapy. Like, one girl injured her back and I was like helping her with that. Another girl was having knee problems and she didn't realize it was because her hip flexors were tight and she needed to stretch out her hip flexors. And these are all things I learned because I decided to go to Rutgers and get a, I guess, formal education in dance, like things you don't necessarily learn at a studio or other places.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
also like knowing dance history and things like that also came into play a lot of the times, and being able to intersect dance and like fine arts and things like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah, having that kind of comprehensive and like being able to go like more interdisciplinary with it and getting to explore those other kinds of things.
Yeah, exactly. And then also the thing is, I feel as though I would have had a lot more injuries and a lot worse injuries if I didn't go to Rutgers, because another thing they emphasize there, which is what I'm grateful for, is working with your body structure. So a lot of times they would say, like, I remember taking Alexander technique, and essentially we learned movement is about stacking the bones and then using the muscles to support stacking the bones. So you don't necessarily muscle your way through movement. You allow it to happen by guiding your bones and using your muscles to support the movement.
Oh, that makes me think of an exercise that I've been following lately on YouTube where the guy's like, move your elbow back as if you're not just moving your hand when you're putting your hand behind your elbow behind you, like this.
So, yeah.
You're just moving your elbow. So it's kind of more of a visual.
It's more of a visual. So instead of just jabbing your arm back, what you do is you allow it to bend. And as a result of it bending, it goes back. And that's also what allows you to have that kind of floaty look and feeling. Like, a lot of times people will see dancers and they're like, it just looks like they're dancing on air, like they're floating. It's because they're thinking of the initiators. Like, a lot of times we're looking at the superficial muscles, like your bicep or like your pec, but then there's stabilizing muscles underneath that are actually way smaller and actually responsible for having functional transferable strength. And that's why dancers tend to be, most dancers, I guess you can say, are very lean, but a lot stronger
Josh.
Oh no, did we lose him?
Oh, here he's back.
There he is. Hey.
There was a
Technical
random
live
phone call from
technical-
somebody.
we don't have time to
Sorry.
talk. Josh, you already told
Yeah.
everyone you're on this show.
I know. I did. I made several posts about it. No, but that's the thing. Like, you think about initiating. Like, a lot of people don't realize that your abdominal muscles actually wrap around and connect into your back as well. And so, like, this area here. Sorry, this area here is like your epicenter of your movement. So a lot of times when people have things like back issues, they don't realize it's because they're allowing their
Oh, he's getting another call. Josh is so popular. It was really hard to get him on the show today. You know, everyone loves Josh, as Barbara and I do. Barbara, you're learning things about your muscles here. Do you feel more confident?
a lot of people don't realize that
Josh is back.
when you have a lot of back issues and stuff, and it's because, at least I knew for me, my issue was that my abdominal muscles were too relaxed and too weak. So they would relax forward, and then that would cause a curve in my spine, more so than the normal curve you would have in your lower back. Can't think of the technical term for it. I used to know it by heart. Yeah,
okay.
but and so it compresses the spine because everything is relaxing and going forward. So then you come up with this hyperlordosis kind of situation, and it compresses the spine. And so essentially, you need to, one, get the muscle to relax. So you would massage it out first, and then you would kind of stretch it to get it to release. That's why a lot of times when people go to like chiropractors or things like that, they kind of move you around a bit first just to loosen up the muscle to give it space to realign the bone structure.
I'm just sucking my abs as you tell me all this, sucking them in right now.
I know. I like started sitting up.
Oh yes, Josh. Yeah. Very interesting. We're doing it.
Yeah, like if you think about it now, like where you're sitting, right? Anybody watching can do this too.
Yeah. Cool.
Go to stand up, but instead of just standing up, think of drawing your belly button to your spine first, and up, and then stand up, and feel the difference from like, so stand up like that, like and then sit down. Now relax your stomach and then stand up how you would normally stand up.
Oh.
You feel the difference? You feel like how when you relax your core muscles, you need to move more, and it feels like more weighted and more heavy as opposed to the light feeling when you engage your core.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I felt like
because engaging your core essentially helps to protect your spine. Your spine is the most important joint in your body. It's your lifeline. It literally connects to your brain.
That's true.
That's why, and also like I've started like training people virtually, like online, doing online trainings. And I always stress like engaging your core, using your core to support the spine, because if you don't use your core to support, you are setting yourself up for potential injury, because then what happens is, because you're not using those stabilizing muscles and because you're not stacking the bones, your superficial muscles have to work more now, which gives you more of a chance of injury.
So do you have a website?
I've been rambling
no, I love it. I want to know if we could, how do we hire you? How do we find Josh? Just your Instagram, or do you have a website?
I can't hear you.
Oh, why can't you hear me? I'm talking. Uh-oh, Josh. How's your speaker?
Hey,
play with your speaker. Uh-oh. Barb, can he hear you?
I don't know. Can you hear me, Josh?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Huh. Okay, you talk.
That's weird.
I just can't hear. Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm guessing.
Yeah, we can hear you, and I can hear Amy. So that's bizarre.
You can hear Amy.
I can hear Amy. I can hear you.
I can hear you, but I can't hear Amy.
So weird. Let me
That's
see.
so
Barb,
weird.
you take over for a moment. Let me try again.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no.
Here I am.
Okay, there you are. Yes,
you,
I can hear you now.
Okay, I thought that might have been
okay.
Now Archer has to get used to going this way towards Barb. Oh no, he's going the wrong way. Okay,
there we go.
Woo. Yeah, no, Josh, I was just saying, do you have a website where we can hire you to be our virtual trainer?
You can follow my Instagram, j.s.bodygoals on Instagram, or you can message me via Facebook, Joshua S. Howard.
Say your Instagram again.
It's j.s.bodygoals. That is my Instagram that's more focused towards like training and things like that. And I post different exercises that I come up with. I will also post some exercises of trainers that I follow, and I will give the trainers that I follow credit for the exercises that they come up with that I use. So I'll give out shout outs to other trainers. And if you want to follow me more so for dance and performance stuff, just my name, Joshua S. Howard.
On Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, I was trying to tag you on Facebook for a couple things, and there's a lot of people with your name.
Yeah, I know.
And they're
That's
all
why, like,
they're all like famous in my book, like you are in my book.
Yeah.
I was like, that must be a really good name.
yeah,
means
that's why
you're
I go with
you're-
Joshua S. Howard, and as a stage name, I try to use Joshua Samuel.
Oh, there you go. Wait,
Oh, there it
It's
is.
like an email address. That was ridiculous of me.
you did do it like an email.
After I did it, I'm like, wait, no, that's not right.
That's all right. We'll put all these on the YouTube page at the end.
Yeah, of course.
And if we mess them up there, Josh
That's
can just
better.
yeah.
No,
Ooh.
that's actually, yeah, that's good.
Okay, I fixed it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why Barb's my unofficial official assistant, helping with all those things while I gab here with you.
Of
Yeah,
course.
So do you have any we have like almost 20 minutes left. Do you have any simple dance moves we could try? You could say no, but I mean, what's a basic? I mean, I was thinking ballet, but we're not ready for that.
Well, I wouldn't do that, but like simple dance moves or things like, so another part of my training was like translating everyday activities into dance moves.
Oh, I like
So
this
you can
idea.
take you can take something as simple as like, okay, drinking a bottle of water, right? You take it, open it, you drink it, right? So as a dance move, just take your hand like you're holding a glass, really slow, and then tilt it up.
Oh, I feel like I'm doing a weird movie.
Yeah,
Oh, look at the
like,
way you're
tilt it
falling
up,
back with
and
the
then
other arm.
slowly start from your chin and then your chest back down, like a body roll.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm rolling up
So
the
like
chair.
that's a dance move, but sometimes when you see it, especially if you've ever watched like pop locking, like you'll see guys like look like they throw something up and then they do a body roll down. So essentially it's like you're drinking water and then you're following the flow of water down your body.
Oh, I love that.
Cool.
That can
Yeah.
be, I'll take a while before I actually get this
Also, another simple voguing move that I learned from a really good friend of mine's is you take one hand, blade hands. At least I learned it as blade hands.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you draw a figure 8 with one hand.
Oh,
Draw an 8. Like the fingertips make an 8, right?
yeah. I'm probably
and then
going
you take your other hand wrist to wrist and follow it.
Ooh.
Follow
it's
the
like a
figure.
weird butterfly.
Yeah, it's a rave move, and also sometimes you see it in voguing. I learned it as a vogue move.
I got,
I can't do this
I get it now. You got to be on ecstasy to do
Yeah, like you follow your hands like a figure 8.
this. Oh, I like it. That goes with my butterfly theme.
Yeah.
Except
there
it's
you
like-
go.
Yeah.
See,
That's
like-
the one thing, like, I feel like if you
Yes.
can move your body, you can dance. And one thing, like, I have a really great friend, if you don't know, her Instagram is Pack Rat. She was actually on the show Legendary. Her name is Stephanie. I love her. Like, I actually met her at Rutgers. She's an amazing dancer and an awesome voguer. And she teaches classes out in LA. And like a lot of stuff I've picked up from watching her and like being friends with her. So it's been really nice to like see. And I remember back when we were in college, she was telling me about a Vogue style called whacking. So essentially you like flip your hand and you make different, so it's literally like you just flip your hands and whack. So you can go like to the front, back, switching hands.
Oh, yeah.
out,
Like,
and,
this is my hat.
yeah, it's really cool.
I like it.
That's cool.
And it reminds me, I wanted to take breakdancing lessons when I was younger, but it didn't fit into my.
Okay,
I
so
never did,
well,
but I
it's not
would
a
love-
breakdance move, but because I know most people are sitting down and doing things like with hands and arms. So
Yeah.
a body wave or a wave you do in pop
Mhm.
locking is really simple. I'm gonna move this way a little bit.
Okay.
So you take a hand and you bend just the top part of your fingers, and then you make a fist, and then you put your fingers down, then you put your wrist up, and then elbow, and then shoulder, and then you're gonna drop this shoulder and pick the other shoulder up here, and then elbow, wrist, fist, fingers, open. Okay, so let's put all of that together kind of slow. So we go
We're gonna do backwards.
fingers. So we go fingers, fist, wrist, elbow, shoulder, and then reverse it. Shoulder, elbows, wrist, fist, fingers.
Woo.
So let's do it
I'm not
again.
great, but I think I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We're gonna try it again a little bit faster.
Oh,
So
I
we
did
go.
a model move.
Yeah. So we go fingers. Wait, ready and go. Fingers, fist, wrist, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, wrist, fist, fingers.
Ah,
And
got
so
it.
when you put it all together and make it smooth, you get an actual.
I am used to
Body
doing it
roll.
with my.
You get an actual wave, is what it's called.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never done the hand part of it. I just my hand has.
Yeah. So like,
I
if
do
you
like
hold
this.
your hand up, like you're like
Yeah.
giving a 5, or like putting it on the wall,
I'm
and then
high-fiving
just
hard.
roll your fingers down,
Yeah.
and then to the other side. So all you do is essentially you point something either to the sky or to the ground. So you start off with your fingers to the sky, you point them to the ground, and then your wrist goes up to the sky. And then as your wrist goes down, your elbow comes up. As your elbow goes down, your shoulder comes up. And then as that shoulder is down, the other shoulder's up. And then elbow, and then your wrist comes up. And then you make a fist, and then you let your fingers open up.
If anyone's watching, let Barb and I know how we're doing, because I think we're doing great.
You're actually doing better than you think you are.
I know. We're going to watch later, Barb, to see how we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the record, I'm not like.
Barb's got an injury too.
I haven't
So-
I hurt my shoulder earlier. Don't worry, Mom. I'm okay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I was like, yeah, we did talk about that. So another thing you can do is called tutting. It is similar to. It's named tutting after the whole King Tutting era because it's like hieroglyphics. So the idea is to try to look like a hieroglyph, like
Ooh.
those flat TV shapes. So you take you can take your hands like in a prayer
Mhm.
position. And the idea is to keep your hands at a 90-degree angle if possible.
Mm.
So a simple starter beginner is to hold your hands like this, and then you're
Yeah.
going to turn one hand down.
Oh, I went.
Just
weird.
one. Yep. So bring it back up. So you're going to turn
away.
the hand away from you. So away from you down, and then you're going to go across and bring the other one down. So it's an upside down prayer position.
Fun.
And then you bring one hand up, and then you bring the other one up back to center. And that's the basic start of a tut. So you go down, down, up, up. So think of making a square with your body. So each time your hand
Oh,
moves,
okay, yeah.
your arms move. So you go down, and then you go down to the other side. Then you go up, and then you go up.
Got it. I probably don't, but I think I do.
That's cool.
So if you wanted to add that to like the hand wave, you would go,
Oh my
starting
God.
here, you go down, down,
Okay. Yeah.
up, up, and then you open, and you go like the wave that we did before, really slow.
I'm so used to doing it.
Yes.
Fast.
Oh, Milton's joined the party.
Yay.
Yeah. I'm like, my shoulder's not having this. So
Yeah, actually, there's a really nice thing you can do with Milton that's kind of vogue, and it's when you bring one hand up, and similar to tutting, the hand is flat, and you just go up in the air like that. Yep.
that I can do.
Okay.
So it's like you switch arms. Here,
Oh, okay.
here.
I say.
Boop, boop.
Boop.
Yes.
I got it.
Yes.
I'm making
Voguing
sound
puppets. I love it. Yeah.
effects.
I'm a very, very basic beginner voguer. If you really want to like have fun and see some great voguing, I would suggest you follow my friend at Pat Crack on Instagram. She's really good. Actually, she's from the House of Lanvin. If anybody's watching that watched the show Legendary, you know who I'm talking about. I would
Awesome.
suggest watching her if you really are into like Vogue and different things like that.
Totally. We're gonna do it. Barb and I are gonna rehearse, and we're gonna put on a show, a Christmas show.
Yes. Yes.
We'll show our moves every week during the arts cabaret.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll like
There we got.
Put a little puppet routine together.
we'll make it part of the intro thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It'd be really cool.
Oh, we got a compliment on the hieroglyphic thing they're calling the hieroglyphic move we did. Yay, they like
Yes,
it.
tutting. Yes.
And Milton is awesome, is what we have here.
Yes.
Awesome.
Loving
guy-
Milton's enthusiasm.
Josh, my guy doesn't have a name. Do you have a name that's
Um,
coming to you? Hold on, let me put his face towards you. Here's his
Skin, surveilling the room, keeping you safe.
He is.
He's
He
your own
might be
personal bodyguard.
like a security system. He's looking at me. I don't know why he's looking at me. Like it's like when the cat just stares at you and doesn't blink.
Oh, actually, unrelated, I had an ex of mine who had a cat, and I didn't really know much about cats before we started dating.
Oh, you never
And
know
he
much
taught
about-
me so many things about cats that I didn't realize were signs that cats liked you, that his cat would do to me all the time. Like, her name was Cooper.
Cool.
She would like sit and look at me face to face, and she would blink really slow. And he was like, "Oh, she's telling you she loves you." And I was like, "Really?" And she would do this thing whenever I would sleep over his place. She would do this thing where she would wake up in the morning. She always slept between my legs, like, because I would sleep on my stomach with my legs open. She would always lay like right between my legs. And so she would get up in the morning. She would crawl on my back and kind of like knead my back like a massage. And then she would come to my face and put her head against mine.
Yes,
like,
I do that with my cat every day.
Yeah, she like goes forehead to forehead. And like
Yeah.
when I opened my eyes, she would be like drooling a little bit. And he was like, "Oh, that means she's really happy." I was like, "Really? I didn't know these things."
Yeah, that's funny. I go up to my cat all the time, and we
Yeah.
cut foreheads. And he
Yeah.
sniffs my nose, and I feel his nose sniffing my nose.
Yeah.
Aw.
It was funny because before Cooper, I actually didn't like think of myself as a cat person. And he would be like, "Oh, so you're a cat person now." I was like, "I'm a Cooper person." I can't say that I'm gonna get along with all cats, but I know a little bit more now. But I will say, since meeting Cooper, I've definitely become more open, and like I've noticed I can develop a bond with cats. Although I've always had dogs, but I'm an animal lover.
Yay.
That's the thing. Like so many people are like dog language is so much more more out there and in your face and like more common in society. So like I feel like a lot of people don't like cats just because they don't understand them.
Them. I think that was honestly what happened with me. It was like I just didn't because Cooper had did things that other cats had done, but I didn't know what it meant. And like I feel like in society we have like this kind of mainstream form of like communication and this mainstream awareness that kind of overtakes everything. So it's like dogs are more, I guess you can say, gregarious in affection, and it's more open and it's more like visible and tangible. So like people understand signals from dogs, but not a lot of people understand signals from cats because cats tend to be more quiet and they tend to be more independent. And actually, I realized that cats are just as much, if not sometimes a little bit more affectionate than dogs are, because dogs will be okay with like just sitting next to you or just like being petted, where cats like will feel a need to like literally rub up against you and like actually have like that kind of, I feel like dogs are more physical touch me and cats are more eye contact look at me.
Yes.
Like dogs connect more so with like play and touch, and cats connect more so with like eye contact. And like, they were both nonverbal signals, but I think cats are more about the eyes and more about the face area,
Yeah.
where dogs are more like hand and like arm area, leg area oriented.
Except for the body part, I think you just described how we met, Josh, because I was sitting alone and you were like, someone needs to talk to that girl.
Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing you sitting there, and I was like, she looks like she's okay, but I'm pretty sure she can probably use a friend. Like I'm that kid they had to warn about strangers. Like I was the one that they had to be like stranger danger. Like my mother actually told me it was very rare that I didn't like somebody. She was like, if you didn't like somebody, you generally had a good reason.
Perfect. Barb,
Yeah,
what were you going to say? Barb loves cats. Barb is a cat, I think.
I like pets. I don't know. Like I relate to them better than dogs. They're more introverted than extroverted. But I think one of the fun other ways about like cat communication is like scent. And that's like part of the face thing.
Yeah, like that's why they rub on you a lot, because they're trying to get their scent on you so they recognize you.
It's like you are part of like
me.
You are my people. So like whenever like you walk in the door and my cats walk up to me and just like want to rub on me, it's like, oh, thank you. I smell like the outside world. You gotta make me smell like you again.
Yeah.
No, you are mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar when you mentioned liking. I don't know if you know, but like I have my Harry Potter water bottle.
Nice. Are you a Ravenclaw? You're a Ravenclaw?
Yeah, I am. Actually, every test I had ever taken always came out Gryffindor until I went on Pottermore. And I got 8 questions in, and it sorted me into Ravenclaw. Which was quite interesting, because I was just like, really, Ravenclaw? And like me and a lot of my cousins are really into Harry Potter, and my one cousin who's a Hufflepuff was like, it makes sense. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, what are things that you really like? I was like, oh, I like brain teasers, stuff that makes you think. Like I'm the kind of person, like if I watch a movie and I can figure out the plot like in the beginning of the movie, I get bored really easily. And stuff like that. And she was like, your pastimes include stuff like doing brain teasers and puzzles. Like, who does that?
I could
people
totally see it, because you were like when you were talking about like all the different like fields and the other like ways that you can learn about dance, like you're passionate about all of those, like learning about all those different kinds of things.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, like, I know, like, I'm being a bit nerdy, but like I know they say in Harry Potter that your Patronus is a reflection of like an inner you and things like that. So I feel like animals that you gravitate towards can kind of be a reflection of like your personality or little innuendos that you might have.
Yeah, totally.
Like I've been told I'm a really loyal person, and like one of my favorite animals are pumas. I love pumas.
Ooh.
And pumas are known to be like very, very loyal animals.
Oh, that's true. And one more thing.
Cool.
One more thing before we go, because it is we have a few minutes left.
Yes.
Josh, you were mentioning there's some show on Monday that you might be on. Good, because you know, Barb and I want any excuse not to work. So if there's something we're supposed to be watching on the internet,
I hope I'm not like breaking some type of clause or anything. But I got approached
that we should follow your Instagram to see if Josh is more famous than we thought he was.
No, I'm not. I am just like everybody else, and even celebrities are like other people. It's just they're known for their profession.
Yes. Well, we'll just say, so that Josh isn't breaking any clause. Monday night.
Well, it's a show on TLC. It's a dating show. Yes, I can say. Well, I don't know. Like, I know there's an interest, so I may be on it. I may not be on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't know.
Yeah.
But it's called Find Love Live. It's actually a really, really good show. It's a dating show, and the concept is webcam dating. Like everything's done via webcam, so everybody's like at home in their apartments or in their house or wherever.
Yeah.
And it's all done via webcam. It's on TLC. It's
So
actually really, really interesting. Like I watched a few episodes and it was pretty cool.
So maybe we could get Barb to be on one episode there to do some reconnaissance also.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like Barb is on one episode, Josh, you're on an episode. That'd be great. All the
Yeah.
guests who are single can go
Yeah.
on.
I would say even if I'm not on it, I would suggest watching it, even if like as a guilty pleasure. Like if you like things,
What we need at this
if you
time.
like that kind of like potential of finding love, and it's like it's not scripted at all. Like it was actually interesting going through the, I guess you can say, vetting or audition process.
Mm-hmm. Very
It was
cool.
actually really, really cool. Like, because they ask, like, it's very, at least in terms of my experience, it was very authentic and very genuine. Like, they actually ask you questions about, like, your dating type and, like, what you're looking for and things like that. So it's not like reality TV where it's like they do things for, like, dramatic or rating purposes. Like, it's actually genuine. So
Yeah,
They're not like asking what your pet peeve is and then setting you up with somebody who like that is their main character.
no, no.
that was their main flaw. Yeah, no, this has been awesome to have you on here. And all I know is we cannot wait another 10 years till we see each other
I
again.
know.
'cause
I
that
can't
was
believe it's been
not-
that
yeah,
long.
I don't know what happened. I just blinked.
I know.
And then when you get back, when the cruise ships are going again, Barb and I would like to know which cruise ship we should go on. If you end up doing that. If you don't, just tell us which one your friends are on. And we'll go on that one.
Well, I've been
And
on
we'll-
so many.
we'll-
I kind of have friends all over now. Well, people I know.
Well, that's good. Then we have a choice. We could decide which
Yes.
countries they're stopping at.
Yes.
Barb, yeah, which country do we want to go to, Barb? Well, Josh, Barb and I are gonna practice
Yes.
all our various moves.
I'll work on it, especially when I've got more mobility.
Yeah, well, you practice the tutting thing.
Oh yeah, practice.
Yeah. I'm excited about they like in the TV show The Magicians, like that was like they had like tutting people who were like helping them out because the way that they do their stuff is they do like all kinds of finger like tutting things.
Yeah, like you can do like
yourself.
finger waves,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like
Ooh.
they did all kinds of
Or
like
yeah, things
Oh,
like
let's
you
do it.
guide your hands around.
this kind of thing. And
Let's
like
perform this as our dancing move as we wave bye to everyone. And we will see you next Saturday with
Bye.
Judy and Julie, some of my yarn bombing LA friends. Maybe we'll yarn bomb the screen. Who knows?
Yay.
Josh, it was awesome having you. You can come back anytime. Yay.
Thank you. Just let me know when you want me.
Bye, everyone.
hey,
Bye, everyone.
bye.